And did things change in the studio as well with the switch from Motown to CBS?
Did things change in the studio as well with the switch from Motown to CBS?
I would say that was the most tense situation ever, or time of life for me, was the changing from Motown to CBS. It was just, I was in a whole nother world. I didn't know what was happening. And there's so much going on, so much tension. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. And I just thank God that everything went okay. We joined CBS, and I didn't know anybody there. I didn't know what. All I knew is, what we were supposed to do in the contract, and understood everything. We went in the studio. We just did our best. And they thought that Gamble and Huff should produce us, and they did. And we came up with some pretty good songs with them. Show You the Way to Go, which was a big hit, as well as Enjoy Yourself. Thank you. So many songs. And we kind of, since we've been in the studio so many years, something just told us that we should start doing our own thing. It's time to write. Something let you know that it's time for you to go out and do it yourself. So we decided to write and produce our own songs. And we finally did. And we went through so much, with people not believing in your work, or saying, are you sure? Are you sure? And we said, yeah, we know we can. We know what we can do. And we went in and we wrote the Destiny album. And that was double platinum. And that really influenced us even more. And the Shake Your Body, which was a huge hit, as well as Blame It on the Boogie. And so we really were happy. We really felt great about it, and as well as CBS. And the next time around, we just, we really feel great and off the wall. And now we're doing our new album, which is really doing well so far in the studio.
I mean, apart from obviously being pleased with the enormous sales of the Destiny album, I mean, how pleased were the boys with the way they had written and produced themselves?
Apart from being pleased with Al, with the Destiny album, how did Jackie and them feel about them, the way they produced it and everything? So.
Well, what I mean was, obviously everybody was pleased that it had sold so well. But did they feel that they could have done better? Yeah.
Did they feel that they could have done better?
Well, I certainly did. I'm sure the brothers did too, because I'm never satisfied with anything, because I do believe deeply in perfection. And I'm never satisfied. I'll cut a track or something, and I come home and I say, no, that's not right. We got to do it over. That's not right. And you just go back and back and back. And then when it's finally out, you say, darn it, I should have done this. I should have did it. And it's number one on the chart. You're still screaming about what you should have done. I'm still not satisfied with a lot of things, but that's really good. Yeah, just to keep growing and perfecting like that. And I like to stay that way, because if you're just satisfied with everything, you're just going to stay at one level and the world will move ahead. That's not good either.
Was it to do with the Wiz, through the Wiz that Michael got to work with Quincy Jones?
Was it to do with the Wiz that you got to work with Quincy?
Yes. That was, I met Quincy before at Sammy Davis's house a long time ago. And Sammy told him, this guy's really gonna... I wasn't even paying attention. I said, so he thinks. And Quincy said, oh, yeah. He said, and Sammy said, oh, wait till you see him, and blah, blah, blah. He's really... I just listening to all this junk he was saying, but, that's what he thought. And I met Quincy there. I think he was doing soundtracks to television shows as well as movies, 12 Angry Men scores and stuff. And but the real meeting with Quincy, the real marriage, was the Wiz Project. And we really got to know one another, and we worked beautifully together. Oh, so well. And I called Quincy up one day. I said, Quincy, I'm ready to do an album, a solo album. I've written the songs, that I want to do, but I want a real good, producer to work with me. I said, I'm going to produce it too, but I want somebody to work with me. I said, can you recommend somebody? And I wasn't trying to hint around at all. I didn't even think about him. And he said, Smelly, he calls me Smelly. He said, Smelly, why don't you let me do it? I said, that's a great idea. And I started giggling, and he said, oh, why don't we start? Next week we got together, and we started planning. And that's how Off the Wall came about.
And was Rod Temperton, using him as a songwriter, Quincy's idea?
Was Ron Temperton using him as a songwriter, was it Quincy's idea?
Or was Michael aware of his songs already?
Yeah.
I was on tour. During Off the Wall it took so long because we went to England, and I was still doing the album, came back, did a little, went on tour. Weekends on the tour, I would fly in and do a little, and just so much. And while down south in Louisiana, Quincy called me and said, Michael, there's this guy, Rod Temperton, I don't know if you've heard of him. He said, I'm sure you know his work. He said, you've heard of Heat Wave, of course. I said, of course I've heard of Heat Wave, Boogie Nights and Always and Forever. He said, he wrote some songs for you, and wait till you hear them. I said, okay, I can't wait. So he sent me some tracks, and I flipped over them. And then Rod put his voice on. Rod hates his voice. He thinks it's terrible. And and he was singing these songs, Rock With You. I said, God, these are great. So I recorded it, and that's how it came about. And they are great songs. And I just saw him last week. He's doing some George Benson stuff.
That's going to be good.